Welcome, everyone, to Women Speakers Association's WSA TV Women Premiere Show. I'm Laura Rubenstein, your host and producer, and today we are talking about strategies to lead a life you love and make a difference. I've got two incredible women here today. They are experts in their field. They want to help you grow beyond where you think you can go. And let's get right to them. So let's say hi to Pushpa.
Hi, Laura and Judy. My name's Pushpa Vaghela. I'm from Australia, and you can find me at leadershipbydesign.com.au. I'm a speaker, mentor, and an author of 2 books and 4 ebooks.
Wonderful to have you, Pushpa. And hi, Judy.
Hi, Laura and Pushpa. I am an author, a play shop facilitator, and speaker. And you can get a closer look on my website at judyronco.com. And I'm coming to you from Delaware.
Well, great to have you on this very international show, ladies. I know you're both experts in this area of how to make a difference and lead that life you love. So I wanted to ask you, what strategies would you like to offer our viewers today to help them lead a life they love and make a difference? So Pushpa, why don't you go first?
All right, so strategies start with the self, and one aspect that I truly support and work with is leadership. And I believe that you cannot lead others unless you have the strategies and the intent within you. So everything starts from within you, and that includes your self-respect, your self-awareness, your self-leadership, and definitely your self-intent, especially for women, because we're so busy doing everything for everybody else that sometimes we forget about who we are, about what we stand for, and definitely over time we've actually lost who we truly are. And I ask this question all the time: who were you supposed to be before who others told you who you should be?
Oh, that is such an important question to consider and contemplate because that brings such clarity. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. And I've had when I'm working with the audiences, it starts the thinking process and they start remembering that dream they had when they were younger. And over time, I mean, we were told what emotions were even before we realized what they were. We were given knowledge and education and had role models even before we had time to really start acknowledging what we were thinking and feeling and seeing and hearing. We were told what it was. So when we realize that interpretation within us, it just opens up a whole new world.
Right. That's really important to remember to get to your dreams and live that life you love. So, Judy, I thought you could add to that. And what strategies do you have for people to lead a life they love and make a difference?
Well, first, I'd like to thank you, Pushpa, because I'm so on board with everything that you said. And for me, I guess the biggest thing is for women to choose their own happiness and to prioritize it. And one way you can do that is by looking for the gem or looking for any aspect of each and every day that kind of amps up your feel good, your feel good sense. And the other thing is that you always have a choice, because perspective and gratitude are real game changers in the pursuit of a joy-filled life. And, recognizing the fact that you have a choice on how you feel and what thoughts go through your mind is really one of the most important pieces of advice that I can share.
And that is easier said than done, especially when you're in the thick of something very challenging. Is there
Sure.
any advice you have for people to how to shift into a different perspective?
Yes. Sometimes you have a little issue going on. Sometimes you have a very large challenge going on. And either way, the idea is to think of one thought, just one thought that makes you feel a tad bit better than where you are. And then another thought, and then another thought. And it has like a domino effect. You don't always go from feeling, really, really bad to feeling, euphoric. Like in the movie Hook with Robin Williams, they said to him, think of your happy thought. And he thought his children, and immediately he could fly. It doesn't always happen that quickly, but you just need to think of one better feeling thought, and it will lead you to where you need to be.
I love that. Between the two of you, knowing how to clarify what's your own thoughts, your own emotions, and then create that, choose that with a happier thought. What a powerful strategy to lead a life that is really one that they love and one that's about you to make a difference, right? So, Pushpa, tell us more about you. I want to know your background. Who do you work with? What lights you up about them? And what do you do with them?
So currently I'm working with women from 30 to 60. However, we have had other, younger generations and older generations come into our organization as well. And so many women in today's day and age, they deny themselves even to dream of thinking that, they've got an individual life, they've got the opportunity to be successful in their chosen fields. And what we do is we identify that dream or that vision that they have, and then we go through a process. So with one of my other organizations, which is a charitable organization, we have 3 4-week programs, and it really starts with a grief. And grief can be anything. It can be through the loss of somebody, it could be bullying at work, it could be DV, it could even be that you've been through an accident. But for many of us through our lives, we go through holding on to unidentified grief. So the grief share is all about finding that hurting and then traveling that journey and holding your hand through a place of healing. And then what we'll do is we'll start working with a self development. And that's where we start looking at your beliefs and your values and what do you truly want in your heart. We open up this area because this is usually what's closed. The communication from the head to the heart is disconnected. And then when we get down within you, then that's when we start scraping the barrel. And then the final program is all about your self leadership to ensure that you have increased discipline and confidence and focus, and that whatever you have desired, you can take the steps in making it real.
So you have quite a set of programs there. How did you get into doing all this?
Through personal experience, I, in my heart, truly believe that I would never want to teach anything that I haven't personally experienced or traveled through, and that includes business. So I do a lot of business development. I've been a business mentor for the government here for over 12 years, and I want to experience it, but that includes the challenges. One of the reasons I set this up is that I've probably been through 7 dark, despairing moments in my life, and I know that had other people gone through it, and I have seen other people go through it, they've not been able to pick themselves up. And I've never thought about the challenge. I've always been in that advanced mode of, okay, so now what? So now what? And I can honestly say that if it is a really deep obstacle or challenge in my life, I'd probably think about it 1% and then I'd move on straight away.
It's quite resiliency that you're demonstrating there, having had so many losses that you were alluding to. Is that right?
That's right, yeah. And as Judy said, it comes with that personal experience and that one thought. And I found that that's what I was always practicing. What's the one thing that I need to do, whether it was survival or where do I take the children from, or where do I stop to, recover from this mental health that I've been accused of, or the burnout that I was diagnosed with, or, having nearly lost my life over the last 2 years. It's just been ongoing. But in my heart, I knew there was a reason for it. So everything that I traveled, I literally made it into an experience so that I could help other women. And over the last 2 years, the things that I was going through, that's when I truly identified how many women were falling through the cracks because of systems, because of loved ones, because of people that they trusted, because of having no boundaries.
Well, that's heroic work you're doing, and thank you for that. And you're serving that purpose. You're doing exactly what you're teaching people, is leading that life that makes a difference and that you love. And Judi, I know you do that too. So tell us a little bit more, Judi, about who you work with, what lights you up about that, and the difference you're dedicated to making and what you do with them.
Well, first, I really would like to commend you, Pushpa, for your courage and your tenacity, because for me, what lights me up in my work, whether it's through the message in my book or through a play shop or when I speak, is seeing a woman who has recognized her inner strength, her courage, her wisdom that enables her to get through any challenge. And when that happens, then she's able to allow her light to shine beyond herself. And my passion is to inspire, educate, and empower women to discover those qualities within themselves. Because once, God.
Do you want to share a story of how you help someone?
Oh, sure. There was a woman that I met quite a few years ago, and she was at the depths of despair. She was what I guess some people would call a people pleaser. And that was stemming from her lack of self-worth. And she just couldn't say no. And it was draining her, and she couldn't see any goodness in her life at all. And through our work together, she was able to regain a sense of self-value. She was able to set boundaries, and she was able to bring joy into her life through her own thoughts by recognizing what she had and not what she didn't have, and feeling a sense of gratitude for that. And she is now filled with joy, and she's lighter, and just her whole aura is so much more beautiful.
And then I'm guessing she also has the ability to say no.
Yes, that included. Absolutely. Goes with a boundary setting.
Yes, absolutely.
It's all about taking care of yourself so that you can, take care of others if the need arises.
And the way you help people is through, Pushpa has her 4 programs. What do you have?
Well, my book, actually, Journey Across the Smiles, is an amazing account of my travels solo for 3.5 years across the country, speaking to people who transformed themselves through this, this philosophy of mine. And also, when I do play shops, which is just a workshop that's more fun, there are a lot of interactive activities. I really believe, even when I do speaking engagements, I make sure that there are a lot of interactive things so that women can have an experience right then and there, and they're not just hearing about mine. So that's the way that I, inspire and hopefully empower women that I work with.
And both of you offer these experiential processes that are so valuable. They are basically strategies for leading a life that is more fulfilling and makes a difference in the world. So thank you for that work. And that's what we love doing here at Women Speakers Association, is highlighting the great work that you do and letting people know about that. So tell us a little bit, each of you, what results or value are you receiving as being a part of Women Speakers Association? Pushpa?
Oh, well, Judi, I just want to say thank you so much, because that's exactly, I was a people pleaser. I made sure that I met everybody's needs, and what I'd actually done was interpret that they truly loved me and respected me and were happy for me. But when things went crashing down, there was nobody. Even my family turned their back. So that's exactly the truth. I really, I really resonate with that. So WSA, Women Speakers Association, has given me the opportunity for a comeback. As I mentioned, these last 2 years have been a bit of a learning growth, definitely. Like I said, I nearly lost my life, and I thought, where can I go that's going to give me this global exposure at a deeper level, and specifically for women, because I've always done it for people, but I wanted to get a niche now. And I believe that's what WSA has given me, that platform. Plus, when I had my first conversation with Gail, I think she does a review of your e-speakers website and the platform there. And I joined in, I think it was 2:30 a.m. So she was really impressed. But I loved the passion. I really loved how she came and how she was committed. And I'm time zone because I work 24/7. And when she said, "Oh, we're going to be flexible to your time," so I was really, really grateful for that. I
Wow.
believe it's good. And I've also joined the Go Global program. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
Yes, there are lots of opportunities for exposure to make that comeback. You're in the right place. We are thrilled to have you here and to help amplify the message you have. And same for you, Judi. So, Judi, tell us what's the value in Women Speakers Association for you?
I guess when I look at it, it's threefold. The most obvious one, I guess, is to connect with like-minded women, and also to increase my visibility as a thought leader and, one who inspires. Well, one of the things that I guess has really, impressed me the most, over the time that I've been involved with the community, is the passion and the high energy level that the members have, not only for their own business and for their own niche or whatever they do, but also in regard to serving each other. And that means more to me, I guess, than almost anything else, because that's a sense of community that, runs through my book, runs through everything that I talk about also. And I would like to just give a thank you to one of the members, Donna Duffy. I believe her title is marketing strategist. She has not only introduced me to WSA, which I'm eternally grateful for, but has also been my cheerleader, for several months. And I really depend on that kind of support. And you can get it from anybody in the networking system, and it's great. I'm looking forward to learning more and knowing more women and being a part of the whole process.
Yeah, and we love having you a part of the process. It really is a community. All both of you here today is just a little microcosm of that. Our talk today of really listening to each other, highlighting you, bringing you to our community at large is really important, so that we can let people know that we're just like you. We're here. If you're a woman who wants to make a difference, this is your organization to do that. That will be there to support you, cheer you on, give you the resources, and teach you how to soar. So go to joinwsa.com if you want more information, and you can do what Pushpa and Judi have already done, and we'll welcome you in with open arms. So thank you, Pushpa. Thank you, Judi, for being here today.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you. Very grateful for the opportunity.
Yes, wonderful. Bye for now, everyone.